Once your camp was liberated and you were quote unquote free to go, I'm assuming your parents didn't have any money. I'm assuming that how do they choose where to go? How do they get a home? What happens after being in this labor camp for years, essentially starving and dealing with I'm assuming they saw horrific things, people starving to death, dying from disease, people being killed. What do you do? What did your parents do?
Well, people were very creative. They did whatever they could to survive, whatever was available.
Do you know how your parents decided?
My father, okay, vaguely I remember that he was in the Romanian cavalry. Both of my parents were born in 1908. And most of the people were analphabetic. So he was not what I call foot soldier. He was in the administrative function. He knew because of his experience that he had to fend for himself. So he knew who he can trust, who he cannot trust. After the war, there was not enough food to feed the population. So people had to be very creative. Like either items were not available or too expensive. My father was a bookkeeper. And in Romania, you did not have individual farmers. You had collectives. So my father was being literate. Okay, his job was a bookkeeper. He was to take money and go to different farms. He used to take me and to go to different farms and distribute the money to the farmers. They had to rely on their wits. So, for instance, my mother, many times she could not buy sour cream, cream cheese, at the same time butter. So he used to bring about 12 bottles of milk, let them ferment, and that eventually, through the process, became butter, cheese, whatever it is. We had a forest where we lived. We used to go and collect strawberries, raspberries, gooseberries, mushrooms. My mother used to make a wonderful mushroom soup. And at the same time, what I liked is we also had, for instance, the mushrooms are the poisonous ones and the good ones live together. My mother knew the difference, otherwise I would not be here. As a matter of fact, the Nazis portrayed the Jews as a poisoned mushroom. So it was very, very interesting how we had to survive in Romania. But it was something that everybody had to go through. I personally felt the discrimination because of the other kids. But people used to come to me, even friends, and apparently I don't have what people imagine what a Jew is supposed to look like. Apparently I don't look that. I don't know what a Jew is supposed to look like, but go ahead. So anyway, my name is spelled with 2 N's. It's the German spelling. So people thought that I'm German. So I used to make stupid comments and jokes about Jews. And being very proud, I said, you know who you're looking to. You know who you're talking to. I'm a Jew. And they said, oh, we did not mean you. We mean them. Why not me? Because they knew me. And I teach the young people, we hate people because we don't know them.
Yes.
We don't know them because we hate them. So when you talk to a person, a different ethnic group, treat them as a person, not as a group. Okay? I don't represent my parents. I don't represent the Jewish people. I represent Sammy Steigman. If you like me, does not mean, and if you think I'm a good person, not every Jew, okay, should be liked or is a good person. If you hate me, not every Jew is a bad person. Treat me as an individual. People have a tendency to generalize. And I say, be very specific.
On the topic of what a Jew looks like, I lived in Israel for a year after high school, and after high school, I lived in Israel, and then I went to university here in the United States, and
Which university?
I went to University of Delaware.
Delaware.
And-
Never been there.
One of the first people I met, another student, we were in a group, and I told them I was just living in Israel, and they were like, "What were you doing in Israel?" And I was like, "Well, I'm Jewish, and I went there for a year." And they looked at me and they're like, "You're Jewish?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Jewish." And they start looking at my head, and I didn't know what was going on, and they kept looking at my head, and they said, "Where are your horns?" And they were serious. They were 100% serious. They're like, "Where are your horns?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" They were told that Jews had horns, and they couldn't believe I didn't have horns.
That's what the picture propaganda
Yeah.
does to you. Sometimes a simple thing makes a difference in your life.
Yeah.